The Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Oh, welcome in everyone to the Every Point Sports Podcast. I'm Jack Stash from Fantasy Farm Sports, and we've got the OldGamerGk, Greg Kratzer, with us today. How are we feeling, Greg?
We're always doing good. We're always doing great. It's Sunday. We got football. We're just jamming out to my boy Rob Brown that did our intro music. So we're out here just, rocking out before the podcast starts. We had some great games yesterday with college football, but, we're all here to talk about the NFL. But we had some great games last week. I hit on some, I missed on some. Jack hit on some, Jack missed on some. It was a very up and down week last week. But listen, exciting games last week, 2 blocked field goals, 2 returned for touchdowns at the end of the game. I mean, incredible. So I'm excited for this week. I can't wait. We got some great picks for you. We got a couple games that we really, really like. And for the most part, just like last week, we're kind of staying away from a lot of the games.
It feels like chalk, but we'll see how we feel once we get to the docket. Greg's in charge. I'm flying blind. I have looked at nothing. I know that instills a lot of confidence in you guys, but sometimes you just got to wipe a slate clean and see how you feel once you hear the numbers come your way for the first time. Right? You can study all you want for the test. Sometimes if you take some time away, right? So you study really hard, right? And cramming and all this stuff, and then you walk away. That's when you have the most success. You come back and you have that muscle memory, and you're able to be more successful without the weight of all the cramming and all the stuff on your mind. So that's kind of how I'm taking it. I don't have really much information. I'm just going to go from my big fat belly.
Sometimes that's where your best bets come, is with your gut. Sometimes you could just overthink things. Listen, having all those numbers that me and Jack talk about week in, week out, those are great to have. But sometimes, if your gut just isn't right with those numbers, stay away from it. Where you load up is when those numbers go with your gut.
Well, what was their total?
That's where you feel. That's where you're like, all right, I can bet some money on this now.
There was 7 total blocked field goals last week, I think. 7 total.
Yeah.
Did you guys have that? You guys definitely had that, right? In a parlay somewhere, you had 7 blocked field goals in an NFL. You didn't have it, right? So, again, we're being very careful, meticulous, right? Boring, right? Boring people live in homes. You ever see wild people?
Boring will get you money.
Yeah, boring will get you money. Boring will get you living in your house. Wild people are outside living besides the dumpster, fighting a cat for a pizza.
They're talking about their big bet that they won 3 years ago. Well, what have you won since then? Nothing.
Yeah, they're missing teeth in their hair.
You know what I mean?
Right. They got rips in their jeans, right? They're running around talking about their grandmother's dog, okay? Wild
Listen,
people.
these big bets are great to win, but like I said, these meticulous bets are the ones that are in the long run that's going to win you the money. Winning those 3-4 bets every week, for $20, $40. Those are your money makers. You're not going to hit those $1,000 bets, those $500 bets all the time. But when you do, like once every couple years, that's a great memory to have, but it's not realistic.
We're the Bee Gees, baby. We're staying alive. What's first on the dock?
That's right. All right. First of all, let's just talk about, we got the Vikings, Steelers, nothing to talk about there. Steelers are beating the Vikings right now. I personally did like how Minnesota looked last week with Carson Wentz. Love that story with him growing up as a Minnesota Vikings fan. Pictures of him in the stands and the Minnesota Vikings football gear. Nice story. But it looks like reality setting in, and Pittsburgh is running away with this 24-6. Nothing to really talk about with this game because it's already going on.
Okay. Quick update. I like that.
Next, we got my LA Chargers and New York Giants. Chargers are giving 6. Over-unders 43.5 money line. Chargers are negative 185. I mean, this is Dart's first game starting. That should interject some excitement, which I'd like. But ultimately, they're going up against a great coach, Jim Harbaugh team. One, their defense is looking like a top 10 defense this year. And Herbert is finally looking like the top 5 quarterback that he's been so highly taunted of the last several years.
Call me crazy.
Crazy.
Good. I like
listen. Even before that, I would still call you crazy.
That's fine. I appreciate it. So I watched the Giants last week and the Russell Wilson led Giants. Look, nobody likes Russell Wilson. I get it. I understand that. That's why he's still playing. That's why he's still married and playing football at his age. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants him around, right? I get that. Not even his coaches in New York. That's fine. He can still throw a football. They just don't want him to lead a team. That's where I've settled. Okay. I can't be forced to believe that Malik Neighbors goes from 13 catches in 1 week to not even trying to catch the ball for Russell Wilson. Watched that as well. Theories aside, we did run the same play after Russ got us to the 5-yard line for the Giants last week. 5 straight go routes. Make up a play. Russell Wilson looked terrible. That's exactly what we wanted, so that the fans could call for Jackson Dart. I did read something this week on the Giants to where the locker room is a little upset that we went to Dart because they do love Winston in that locker room. I'm a little leery on how that's going to work, but I do believe that this is Dable and the Giants' one opportunity to gather and galvanize and bring Dart in. And if they call the perfect game, which is what they've done the opposite of for Russ, if they call the perfect game for Dart and Scattaboo, you can usher in a new era of Giants football. And I do believe that the switch happened, not so much because Russ was bad, because we're trying to sell a product. And we didn't do it in the beginning of the season because we weren't sure what the protection was going to look like from the running back Scattaboo. Scattaboo can block.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he can protect our asset, we're good. Time to move on. Because he picked up some big boy blocks in that second game against Dallas when they threw the kitchen sink at him. And somebody made a phone call upstairs and went, okay, tell the kid to get ready. Now, I am a little nervous about this. I talked about from the beginning about cramming for tests, right? Trying to put all this information in and then getting ready. Dart's been really cramming this week because I don't think that he knew that it was going to come this quick. I hope all that studying is going to slow it down for him, because if all the studying and cramming and it's not easy, like you said, Harbaugh will be sending people.
Couple things. All right, a lot to unpack here. So many times I want to interject the kind of put in, but I wanted you to finish your thing.
That's the thought.
As far as Russell Wilson last week and the way they called the game, I think they called the game towards Russell Wilson's strengths. The way he played against Dallas, he played great. He played like the old Russell Wilson. You and I talked, though, I think 2 weeks ago, where what's Russell Wilson's big weakness? He can't throw the intermediate route, but he throws a hell of a deep ball. Hell of a deep ball. He did it against Dallas. Perfect game plan against Dallas. Actually, everybody's doing it against Dallas now. But anyways, you can't do that against every team. But unfortunately, they did so well against Dallas. I think in turn, they're like, all right, let's do it this game too. Russell threw that great ball. Let's try it out. Didn't work. Russell can't throw the intermediate route. They can't run the ball. Their line isn't that good.
The line's bad. And I watched him throw a bomb to Neighbors, and Neighbors stood there like this.
Yeah. So let's hope.
That's really interesting, though, isn't it? You didn't even jump for it. You didn't even go for it. You didn't slap it down.
That's why I don't think Russell isn't as liked as I think everybody says.
No, I get it, but I think the phone call from upstairs went to Neighbors, or maybe show it and they brought Neighbors in because this stuff happens and people don't like to hear it. And they went, hey, look it. Don't kill yourself for that cat. We got
to. And I totally agree with that. And as far as watching Neighbors the last couple years playing on a subpar Giants team, he there is times that you could see him lapse in, I don't want to say almost Randy Moss like I play when I want to play, but sometimes pretty close where you can question it.
This was
You know
standing
what I
in the
mean?
corner, and the guy just intercepted it, and he just stood there, and I was like, brother. Now, I watched you work hard for Daniel Jones, even though we both were like, Daniel Jones, blah, 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 blah. You worked hard for him. Where's the work ethic here? Where's
Now,
the work hard for that cat?
Where
That's
I think we're going to see is we're going to see Neighbors go extra hard for somebody like Jason Dart or
That's
Jackson
right.
Dart.
I'm right. I'm on board. But I just
I'm
like
with you with the Scattaboo thing. To me, this is the youth movement. And it's great. It's great for one reason, and it's bad for another. It's great because you're getting all these guys, these young players playing time. You're getting the fans excited again. That youth movement's coming in, but it's a bad thing because it gives the coaching staff reason to say, well, listen, you need to give me time with these guys, you know? So for those of you that want to see these guys out, this is bad because it's going to give the coach a little leeway. Really quick on because I don't want to spend too much time on this game, but as far as Jackson Dart cramming for this game, Lane Kiffin was his coach in college. Like Lane Kiffin threw the kitchen sink at you. So as far as absorbing information, I'm really not too worried about that with him because he had to deal with it in college. Like if you could deal, and you can attest to this because you have gone through this Lane Kiffin tree with me forever. He will throw everything at you, and if you can't handle it, he'll spit you out and throw you under the bus.
Yeah, he will.
He'll throw you under the bus. He doesn't care. It's not his fault. It's
he'll
your
actually
fault.
tell the bus driver to leave, and you'll be at home, and then he'll be fired on Monday.
So listen, he had a great relationship with him in college. It was I have no issue with him absorbing this information.
Just the only issue
now it is a faster game. I get that, and so that there alone is going to play a factor. But I think this is a good move for the Giants. I think it's a couple weeks too early, by a couple weeks. But I don't think it's a bad move.
Just tell me, just bring me in the office and go, look, you know what you were brought here for, and you're being benched. Not because you can't play, but because you know what you were brought here for. Don't embarrass him on national TV because that's what you did, and pretend like he can't play and run routes that he has to throw the ball 4 yards out of the end zone for because that's the only way he can protect the ball. Stop that. I don't like that. I really don't. I don't like the organization, any organization, treating their older people like they can't do it anymore or like they don't know or like, oh, did you really not remember that? Stop it. I remembered. You changed it. Don't do that. I don't just tell me.
One last thing really quick. Can we please figure out why Jameis Winston doesn't get any opportunities?
Oh, it's for the same reason.
When he's on the field, he can play.
I know. I get it.
He can play. Listen, he might throw interceptions or something. You can't tell me he's not better than Spencer Rattler. You cannot tell me that.
I know.
You can't tell me he wouldn't be as good with Cleveland as they are with Flacco right now.
Miami,
like multiple. The Jets. Why isn't this guy getting an opportunity? It can't be character from what I heard and what you just said. He is liked in the locker room. People think he's funny. We all crack up over his pregame speeches.
But we're not
rolling.
But we don't want to sell him to the. Yeah, no,
we're not hilarious.
But organizations have decided that they're not going to sell Jameis Winston to their fan base.
That's it because of the crab legs.
No. That's bad. That's bad. No, but it's. I'm sick, and I just want to make this statement, and then we'll move on to the rest of the games. I'm a little tired. I love the game of football. It's a fun game to watch. It's made for TV. It's fantastic. But I am getting a little exhausted watching the business of football on my television screen. It's a little tiring. It really is. I think that's fair. I think we could both live there. I think the fans could live there. If the guy is got the talent and he's better than the guy that you're going to put in there, I'm sorry you spent the draft capital. I'm very sorry. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit here and believe that Tua has more. I'm not gonna believe that anyone in Cleveland, and I'm a Joe Flacco guy, has
I
more.
know. Listen, I know
Spencer
you are.
Rattler
Yep.
is younger than Jameis Winston. That's the only leg above him he has.
The only team I'll give a pass on is the Saints, because you and I already know what their plan is.
Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from everything we've seen, Archie is not going to be the guy either, because he does not look good.
No, he ain't ready.
No, he does not. Listen, he's young. He'll hopefully he'll improve, but he is nothing like he looked last year. Last year with his starts, he looked good.
You know what the Mannings are also paying attention to? What we just talked about. Because they'll use that Manning name to sell a brand that is not ready to support the Manning.
But they already did.
Oh, no,
with his NIL money.
No,
it's ridiculous what he's getting paid.
Texas is ready to support their guy with an offensive line, with all these other things. These teams are willy-nilly throwing quarterbacks in because they go, well, we got to get the jerseys out the door. And Arch and Peyton and Eli are being they're watching in the shadows, and they're sitting there going, who's going to help and not hurt and not destroy our kid, the kid, because that's what they're looking at, and situations like throwing somebody in maybe a couple weeks early, not very great. All right, let's play some games.
We spent way too much time on that game, but we had a lot of stuff going on there. We both like the Chargers. 6 money line.
Take the Chargers on the money line, but I think the Giants play really inspired football.
I do too, but I think ultimately the Chargers win. You all know how I feel about the Chargers. Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles are giving 3.5 points. Over-under is 44.5. Money line Eagles is -185. Listen, this is going to be a scrappy game. I mean, anytime Baker's involved, it's a scrappy game. Ultimately, I think the Eagles do win this game. They had a great win last week. They had to have a second half heroics by Brown, who finally showed up. So, I think the Eagles ultimately win this game. Their defense is just too much for the beat-up Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who still are missing 2 offensive linemen, correct?
Yeah, and look, I'm a Baker guy, but this team's talent level right now is 1 and 2. They're 3.
Godwin back this week. They were talking about possibility.
That counts. They're not just going to roll him in there for 80 or 70 or.
Absolutely.
Right.
But having him back is a huge advantage for Baker.
Look,
I don't think not enough to move the needle right now, though.
Right, and this is the kind of game where you want to be competitive in. That's your goal in Tampa, right? Be competitive. Right now, Philly has more talent on the field. So if you're competitive and you find a way to do it, that's great. But that's what you did for the past 3. Like, you can't, Aerosmith, Living on the Edge, right? That was a great song. We all love Aerosmith. You can't keep living on the edge.
Yeah.
Once in a while, like, you should have had the Jets. Somehow, some way, they found a way back against your defense, not your offense.
Yeah.
If the Jets found a way back, oh, man, because Philly's got a lot more talent than the Jets do. Sorry, Jets fans. It's just, that's what it is. Same colors, different results. I think 3-1. And as long as, you don't lose another wide receiver and 3 offensive linemen, I think you feel good about it. I'm a Baker guy, but there's only so many cakes you could fit in an oven. 3, I think.
I agree here. I think this is fairly easy. I like the Eagles too. I like the money line. I'm not taking the 3.5. The half point scares me. Again, it's Baker. He's scrappy. That's a scrappy team. I don't like to bet the spreads with scrappy teams, especially a guy like Baker. But ultimately, I do think the Eagles do squeak this one out. We don't need to talk anymore about that. Next, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Detroit Lions. Detroit is giving 10. Over under is 44.5. Detroit is -550 money line. I mean, this is a pretty big spread. I know it's Cleveland, but Cleveland's defense is playing lights out. Their offense is playing respectably. Jenkins Their running back is looking really good in that offense. So, like, no, I don't like the 10, but that money line is too big. 550. I'm staying away from this game. If you want to take the money line, take the money line. The Lions will win this. 10 points is just way too much for me to touch that. I'm not saying take Cleveland getting 10 points. I'm just saying stay away from the spread.
I would love the under in this game if we were playing in Cleveland.
Yes.
We're in Detroit.
Yeah.
We're speed kills.
Yep.
You know, and so to me, I think that in being in Detroit, I know Cleveland's got a good defense. I get it. I know what Cleveland is, but Cleveland's got a really good defense in Cleveland. Outside of Cleveland, they're trying. And on grass, they're very good. And turf, they're fine. I think Detroit's got way too much talent. I think there's I could see 30. The NFL has this pinned perfectly. 35-10, 35-14. I love the over. I would bet the over here. I think that they'll get past that 10 mark, and then Cleveland starts creeping late, and it pushes the over.
That very well could be it. It could be set up for it, but again, with the way their defense is playing, the way that the Lions are playing, I'm not touching the spread.
Oh, I'm not.
It's set up for it to go either way. That's why if you're going to take anything, I think the Lions win this straight out. But again, the money line is just too much for me to put.
We're going to do a lot of watching this week, guys.
Yeah. Next, we got the Saints at the Buffalo Bills. Bills are giving 15.5 points. Over under is 48.5. Money line is negative 1,350. That actually might be the largest NFL money line I've seen.
Maybe crazy. That's probably actually true. Can we start this? And we don't have to do a lot here, but how's your organization so bad? So bad that they're giving 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Plus. 2 touchdowns plus. This isn't like the Randy Moss, Tom Brady, New England Patriots where they were smoking everybody by I think it was by week 6. Somebody figured out we better start pushing 16 because this team could win by 30 every week. Okay.
Every week. Yep.
Not that team. This is only week 4. So it's not that the Bills are so great. The Bills are very good teams. It's that New Orleans is pathetic.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not overstating how bad this is, right?
No, okay. No, they're an old team. They're a team that doesn't have good quarterback play. Kamara's a shell of himself. That defense isn't very good. I mean, that game with Seattle was over in the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean, it's time to gut the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
I agree.
Can we gut the whole thing and give the coach draft picks? Because I think he can actually coach. I think Kellen Moore can actually find talent. He's proven to get the best out of guys when he has some guys. Give him some picks. Let him do the grocery shopping. And in 3 years, if it went terribly bad, it was going terribly bad. It wasn't.
The Saints' problem is they never went into that full rebuild mode.
You're right. Yep.
They kept spending their cap space on overpaid free agents, overaged free agents, and they just tried to stay relevant.
Yep.
Instead of just bringing in the young talent, taking your lumps for a few years, and then you're good again. The Eagles did it. The Eagles did that. They made it to the Super Bowl. Then they had a bad year. They're like, all right, let's re-examine this.
You're not the Steelers. Listen to me. You are not the Steelers.
You don't. Not everybody has a Tomlinson. Yeah. Not everybody had a Bill Cowher.
Yeah, there's certain teams that are built to survive a wave, right? And they find a way. But you can't. You haven't.
No.
It's
no.
So don't fire this coach in 3 years when you haven't figured it out.
Yeah, don't forget, you guys were the Aints for how long?
Yeah, you're back to being the Aints. Buffalo.
Yeah. All right, we both like Buffalo here. I mean, I like them so much to where I'm not even really afraid to take that 15.5. It's a lot, but I think this is going to be like a 34-3 game or something. All right, next we got Washington Commanders at Atlanta Falcons. Daniel Jones still, or not? Yeah, Daniel Jones. Jalen Daniels still out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Atlanta's going to bounce back here. They had a rough week last week with Carolina getting blown out like they did. You did call it. You said you liked Carolina. I liked Atlanta. But I think Atlanta bounces back here. I think they get their act together. It is back in Atlanta. They're playing in I don't even remember who Washington's quarterback is. Their backup quarterback, but
It's Marcus Mariota.
Mariota, that's it.
And this game will be as tight as the line is. It is in Atlanta. I think Atlanta wins this week. They have to win. They have to do something because I'm telling what I just said about New Orleans is coming for Atlanta. Because lose, okay, fine. Blown out, okay, fine. They didn't cross the 40-yard line. I have Bijan Robinson. I have Kyle Pitts. I have Drake London. I have Michael Penix Jr. And like, here's the other thing too. Raheem Morris was so steadfast and snarky about it. Somebody asked him, they said, at the end of the game, I hate to be the bearer of some news here, but Kirk Cousins, did some things. Would you ever think about going back to Kirk Cousins? And he said, no. Okay, just fine. That's fine. You're willing to go down with the draft pick that can't get you past the 40-yard line, but you'll die on that ship without being able to move the ball. Okay. All right. That's fine. I understand. I totally get it. I totally get it. This is the business of football, but it's not winning football games. And you kind of got to couple them, don't you? Hey, man, it'd be really cool if we had a quarterback that was young and moved the ball and won games and sold jerseys. That's what we
got that.
Yeah.
But speaking of quarterback, this is kind of a revenge game for Mariota because he did once play for Atlanta, and he was once benched mid-game with Atlanta. So this is kind of a revenge game for him.
I like that.
I still don't think Washington has enough. I still like Atlanta here.
Without McLaurin.
What's that?
Without McLaurin as well.
Yeah.
No Daniels.
Yeah. Oh, no Scary Terry. So then I like Atlanta even more. Which kind of, even without those two, it kind of makes me scratch my head why it's only 2.5. Feels like it should be more like 4.5.
It would have been had Atlanta gotten past the 40-yard line last week.
Yeah.
That's the whole.
All right, next. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. Texans are giving 7.5. Over under is 39.5. And the money line for the Texans is negative 440. Before I even get into who I like this game, can we first talk about how much CJ Stroud has regressed this year? He doesn't look good at all. He looks like a deer in headlights half the time. It can't be because of his weapons. I don't know what is up with him. Did he hit the sophomore slump a year later?
I don't know. I think that some quarterbacks can manufacture, manipulate, and all these other things. I think CJ Stroud's a great quarterback, but he needs a guy, right? And so the main guy that he's missing is Mixon. I think Mixon gave Stroud some moxie. That's what I really think. Nick Chubb is a nice running back, but he's very quiet. I talked to somebody that lived next to Nick Chubb in Cleveland, happened to be traveling down, whatever. And I said, how's Nick? He goes, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? He said, he doesn't say anything. I said, well, he's home sometimes. He goes, he waves.
Yeah.
Takes his garbage out, waves. He doesn't talk. He's so quiet, but he runs like a dump truck. And I think it's kind of interesting that Mixon probably carries a big mouth in that huddle, and he's not there. That's the only thing that's really different about this offense, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, Stroud didn't have him his rookie year, and he still was, he was good.
You could sneak up on people in your rookie year, though. Once that tape comes down, you got to be able to have a running game that sits that linebacker down. Defenses adjust to you.
I get it. I'm just simply stating that he doesn't look. He looks like a shell of himself. It reminds me of the Herbert situation. Comes out on fire, then after a few years kind of like declines. I'm not saying like he can't recoup. He has the talent there. I'm just wondering what's happening this year. Is it something with the team? Is it internal? Is it him? What is the answer? What is going on with him?
Yeah, these are all great
That's it.
questions. They win today,
That's
though,
it.
right?
But again, they're playing the Titans, so I really wouldn't worry about it.
They win today.
I mean, this could be a game he comes out and he'll throw for 400 yards.
Guys, we're giving you great, fantastic storylines today, but there's not a lot of sauce here for these.
No, but we're giving you a lot of storylines to watch the game. So enjoy them. Enjoy those storylines instead of enjoying winning your money. Enjoy the storylines. Enjoy the drama. We're setting up a nice drama for you.
A lot of meatballs without sauce today.
Jack and I are the director here. All right.
That's right.
All right. So we both like the Houston here. Next, we got Carolina at New England. Listen, both teams looked, even though New England lost last week, they still look good. They minus those 2 fumbles, they were in that game the whole time. And listen, the Panthers looked good last week. But again, how much stock can you put into that?
I don't know how much stock I could put into either of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, if New England didn't have, let's do this real quick. If this was Mayo's team and not Vrabel's team, how would we be betting this game? Because I feel like everybody wants to give Vrabel this credit for which he doesn't deserve.
He definitely deserves it.
Done nothing with this team. This team is no different than when Mayo ran them. None.
Really, I think they're scrappier. I think they're more of a tougher team.
They look like I watched this same team play the Dolphins last year when Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback. And you know what? They fought pretty hard. They were a really tough team. I believe it came down. I think Miami had to drive late or New England had to drive late, and it was down to the last 2 minutes. Forgive me for the score. It wasn't one of the greatest games of the season. But I feel like that's literally the same team here. And every time we think about these games, we go, well, they got Vrabel. It's like, well, he doesn't play. And
no, but I get you need to, and I didn't mean to cut you off right there.
No, we're good
to finish your point. But like you need to give him time to get his players in there too.
That's fine.
This is his first year as his coach. Just like I said about Harbaugh last year. Like give him another year. Give Vrabel another year. Listen, when he went to Tennessee, his first year he did all right. But that second year they made that jump because he got some of his guys in there. Give him time to get some of his guys. And let's face it, Drake May, he needs 2 more weapons to throw to.
I'm with
you.
He
really,
I'm with you. But I just kind of settled on this game here. We're looking at Carolina, who didn't allow an Atlanta team that has talent. I don't care who is quarterback. They have talent everywhere. Okay. They didn't allow them past the 40-yard line. Like that's Legion of Boom stuff, right?
Yeah, but how do they do that this last week and they couldn't do it the first 2 weeks?
That's
what I mean? Like
right.
that to me that it just doesn't make any sense.
But New England got less talent than Atlanta.
Oh, absolutely. Way less talent.
Way less talent.
Oh, yeah.
Miles less talent. So as long as we say, I'm give me Carolina. They're at home, aren't they?
No, it's at New England.
At New England.
Yeah.
You know what? Stay away from this game. This isn't a game I feel comfortable with at all whatsoever.
No, I mean, I don't know what Carolina team is out there. I mean, I thought Carolina was dead in the water until last week. Literally thought they were dead in the water. I crucified Bryce Young again.
Yeah.
I said last year I thought he made progress. Now he doesn't look like he's an NFL quarterback again. Listen, I was on them. But last week they looked good. I don't know what we're getting out of Carolina. New England has at least I know what I'm getting with New England. I've seen what I'm getting with New England. They're pretty much the team that I know what they are. They're a tough, hard team. They're going to fight throughout the whole time. May does just enough, but a lot of times he'll shoot himself in the foot again, like last week with his 2 turnovers. Take them away, and I say they still win that game. But anyways, I'm taking the Patriots. I'm not taking the 5.5. I'm taking anything. I'm taking the money line. I am not sold on Carolina. If they were at Carolina, I think I would pick Carolina with you.
Yeah. Then I'll take Carolina getting 5.5.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I think
I mean, this could. I think this might be a 3-point game.
that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
That's right
ultimately,
where I'm going.
I'll just take the Patriots with the money line. I mean, it's only negative 265, so it's not too high.
Because I think
Uh,
Ted McMillan is a mismatch.
Yeah, no, he is,
And
but he's still a rookie, and you
I
still
know.
got Vrabel, who's a defensive guy who can kind of,
I get
scheme.
it. I get
So
it.
we'll see. All right, next we got one game that Jack and I definitely agree on that we like a lot. This is I think what bet your house pick. I think this is going to be the Colts at the Rams.
Oh yeah, we can
Rams
do
are
the
giving
talk.
3.5. Over under is 49.5. Money line Rams 292. What were
Yeah.
you going to say?
You could absolutely bet your house, and you can also do what I did all day today. All day in every fantasy league that I have. I went and picked up the Rams kicker. Because Indy has a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
They do. It's been declared, it's stamped, signed, sealed, delivered. Indy can play defense. They could also play offense. And to me, I want the kicker who has the home game in a high over under, which is what I did. So I went out in every single one of my fantasy leagues, everyone, including ours, and I picked up the Rams kicker. Jack, what is the Rams kicker's name? Joshua Carty. Pick
Mm-hmm.
him up everywhere because although but Jack, he had 2 kicks blocked. I'm very sorry. Would you like him to block and kick? Like, I don't, with those 2 kicks that were blocked last week, because they happened, he gave you 15 fantasy points. The kid can kick. He was 4 for 6. He probably would have been 6 for 6 had the guy not fallen asleep and fallen backwards. So Joshua Carty's where I picked up everywhere. Yes, we love the Rams.
Mm-hmm. I also want to say that the Colts are the first team in NFL history through any weeks, but 2 weeks where they didn't punt one time. So I mean, the Colts are for real. I don't want to be like, oh, guys, this is a slam dunk. This is the Rams are going to win. The Colts suck. Blah blah blah. No, this is 2 good teams going at it. But where the deciding factor on this is how the Rams lost last week and how bad of a taste that is going to leave in their mouth. They're going to come out, gas on foot on the pedal, gas 100%. This is going to be a great game. This really is going to be a great game. This is a game that I am going to be pushing all my chips all in on, though. I love the Rams. As soon as I seen this game, anybody pretty much the Rams played this week, even if they played the Eagles again, I was picking the Rams.
Yeah, they played the Chargers.
Listen, they played a great game last week. They really did. They were a field goal away from winning that game. If that field goal wasn't blocked, they win that game.
We played the 49ers. You picked the Rams?
I didn't. No. No, I would be money picking the Rams. Heart 49ers. 2 different things.
All right. See, that's good though. That's we can separate.
Listen, I'm honest.
The
I'm not one of them that's pounding the table. No, when it comes to my money, it's different than my heart.
All right.
Listen. All right. You know how big of a Bama fan I am? Roll Tide.
Yeah.
It was only $5, but I put $5 on Georgia. I thought we were going to lose. I didn't think there was any chance Alabama won yesterday. At Georgia, 33-game home win streak.
Mm-hmm.
No, didn't think. Florida State embarrassed us.
Know what? Yeah, but here's the thing. Florida State did embarrass, but I was at work and I had the opportunity to talk with some guys, and they were all Florida State. And I get it, but I said, you know what? And they said, what? I go, this kid from Alabama, the beating he's taken, he's figuring out how to move the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the kind of game right here that makes a good quarterback. Do you see how he's figuring out how to go here and here? And yeah, he's losing some plays, but he's still fighting really hard. Florida State's going to win, but this kid's really battling through calls and what's going poorly, and he's really battling. I believe it or not, I swear to you, I told people I liked Alabama last night. And they said, why? And I said, because that kid can dial back to that Florida State game. And when things get tough in this game, and they will,
Mhm.
I think he's going to be able to have so. He looked like he had something. I don't know. I'm crazy. You called me.
Yes, and he was a top quarterback coming out of high school. So,
You called me
he
crazy.
definitely, he had time to develop. We'll see what he does. But, I mean, the way we looked at now, I mean, we blew out a scrub team week 2. We looked to our right against Wisconsin. Both, they were undefeated at the time when we met them. But I think we won like 28-14 or something like that, somewhere along those lines. But we looked better. But I mean, like Georgia, they were just a different team. Georgia was. So I mean, listen, the way we looked last night, I brought a smile to my face. I was all right losing. I was fine. When I made the bet, I'm like, so if I lose, I'm paying $5 for Bama to win. I'll do that every week. I'll pay $5 for Alabama to win every week. Here, take my money. You know what I mean? So basically, it was a win-win situation for me. If Bama loses, I win money. Not much, couple bucks, But if Bama wins, I lose $5. It's only $5, and I'm happy because Bama won.
That's my favorite Japanese baseball player. You guys like Ohtani? I like win-win.
All right, guys, we're not here to talk about college, but I just want to throw that in there really quick. Anyways, we both like the Rams here. We're pounding the drum. Rams. Can't say it enough. And again, guys, the money's line's only at 192. Don't even touch the spread. Just take the money line. It's under 200.
This is my money line. This is my money line face.
Yep. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the San Francisco 49ers. The line is -3.5 for the 49ers, over under 45.5, and Niners are -180 money line. I gave you a couple stats before the game, but I'll tell everybody else. The last Niners are 10-0 against them. The last 10 meetings, last 4 or 5 meetings, we have won by double digits. So I still expect this to be a win by the Niners. I had double digits on the other hand. I don't think so. Thought it was very interesting, though, during the week, press conference with Robert Saleh calling out the Jaguars' defensive staff. I don't know if you heard this or not, Jack.
No.
Legally sign stealing.
Oh.
Yes. Says that Robert Saleh didn't accuse them. He came straight out and said that they legally steal signs.
Oh.
And when he said it, he backed it up to where it sounded like he was giving them praise by saying that they're so prepared. Their staff is so prepared that they know the little nuances. And so when you're in a defensive scheme, they look on their sideline. They kind of know what your signs are. So they already know what defense you're calling. So we have to watch out for that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Is that going to be bulletin board material for the Jags? I don't know. But I think it's enough for our 49ers defensive unit to be a little pissed off about. And Robert Saleh coming in a little bit extra prepared. And we all know how we feel about good old Lawrence when there's pressure. I understand where Niners are missing Nick Bosa, but I think we come out. I think we're going to hammer them on defense. I really do. Everybody forgets about that trade that I talked about when it was made. Huff. When we made that trade with the Eagles and that pressure rate. Look at the top 5 pressure rates this year, guys. Huff is in there. Huff is up there. So he's going to be taking over in limited fashion for Nick Bosa. Listen, he's not a Nick Bosa. He's not even close. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that Robert Saleh went through a whole year when Nick Bosa got hurt before, and that defense was still a top 10 defense. So I'm still picking the Jags here. The 49ers here. I don't like the spread, 3.5. I think it could very well. Everybody knows that how the Niners have been playing the first 3 weeks of the season. Heart attack kids. Everything's been coming down last minute plays. I think this could very easily be a 2-3 point game. I'm taking the 49ers on the money line. I am staying away from the spread.
I hate this game because
real quick. 49ers have a couple players back. Jennings is back, and Robinson's the other wide receiver from the Rams. I don't know if you remember him from last year. Robinson's coming back from his 3-game suspension. So we're getting 2 wide receivers back.
Yeah.
And Purdy.
Purdy's going to play?
Yeah, Purdy's playing. Yes, Purdy's playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Still, I hate this game in general, right? Because on paper, Jacksonville's more talented right now. It just, you know, that's where we're at. And even if Purdy plays, right, because he's going to play, um, he's going to be rusty a little bit. Purdy's a guy that needs snaps. He's a snaps guy. He's not this tremendous, right? We've talked about what Purdy is and what he isn't, right? And I just think he's going to need a week to gain and gather his sharpness. This is the spot where you bet the Jags, right? Because the talent and the streak will end and all these other things. But then you got Shanahan at home. I don't really have a feel on this one. These are the games I just kind of stay away. And what I would do is I watch the way both teams play. And then what I do is next week, I bet one of these teams. That's how I do it, right? I don't have I thought I had a great feel on Jacksonville. I don't have a great feel on Jacksonville. So, yeah, I'm staying away. I don't want to play this game. If I had to, I would bet Jacksonville.
Yeah, again, I'm not touching the spread. I'm taking the 49ers on the money line. It's negative 180. I think that
It's
that
fair
it's at
value.
home.
It's fair
I
value.
think they pull it out. McCaffrey's still there. He's the top back still this year. 140 scrimmage yards the first 3 weeks of the season. So yeah, I like the Niners. They're getting a little healthier on offense. So yeah, I'm liking them here.
By the way, I think this is I just want to maybe a little bit of a rumor here. I think this is Trevor Lawrence's last year in Jacksonville.
It very well could be.
I don't think Liam Cohen's going to put up with him not paying attention.
Yeah, again, from what I'm hearing too, is he's not the greatest study quarterback.
Five touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the way, they're running the same offense in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. It just, needs to be said.
Yeah, how many teams are kicking themselves in the ass that they could have had Baker on the cheap? All right, next we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens are giving 2.5. Over under is 48.5. Ravens money line is negative 148. This is good. This is a tough one right here. Both teams are fighting. Both are 1-2. Ultimately, I think the Ravens are in a better situation. That Bills game, they controlled that whole game. If it wasn't for that late Henry fumble, I think they come out, they win that game. Same thing happened in the next week. Henry fumbles the ball again in the fourth quarter. I think ultimately, without those fumbles, they win those 2 games. They would be sitting at 3-0 right now. I think the Ravens are a better team right now than the Kansas City Chiefs. I actually thought about doing a video of the curse of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny
because she shows up at the Super Bowl. Kelsey doesn't have a good game. They lose. She shows up at the game where Worthy gets hurt, where Kelsey takes Worthy out.
It's funny.
Kelsey, the next game she's at the game, he drops the ball off his hands, intercepted. They lose that game. I'm just saying, I really thought about doing the video.
I mean, there's a little something, right?
The
way I look at it is this: the talent is on Baltimore's side. Eventually, the way everything goes is you catch breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So the breaks have gone against Baltimore as much as they possibly could, right? That's what's that old phrase? Those are the breaks, kid.
Yeah.
And that's the response, right? And it means hey, sometimes you just don't get it. I gotta believe that the breaks are going to go in opposite fashion, and they have more talent. So
yeah, I like Baltimore here too. Ultimately I think this is going to be a great game. But yeah, I like Baltimore here. I think they're more talented. They like Jack said, the breaks have gone against them. And they're still right there. So yeah, I mean, both of those games that they lost, they very well could have walked away with at the end with the dub if it wasn't for late 2 fumbles by Henry. Next we're gonna have to blow through these games here because it's already quarter of, and I need to get some bets in, boys and girls.
Let's go. Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
go.
next
Rapid
we
fire.
got the Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are giving giving 1.5. Over unders 47.5. Money lines negative 125. Guys, for as well as the Bears played last week and as bad as the Raiders looked last week, I think this is one that the Raiders do win. I think the Raiders, what they do is they do well, and it's something that the Bears doesn't defend well, and that they can run the ball to a degree. And for as much crap as we're giving Geno, he has had the biggest plays in the NFL through the first 3 weeks. So
Raiders win. They win pretty convincingly, and my prediction there'll be an NFL investigation into what Tom Brady's been doing in that locker room.
okay,
I just
yeah. There's talk left and right. To me, it
won't
sounds
be
like they
real.
don't want Brady to be an owner.
It won't be real. It won't be a real investigation, but it'll go
Mhm.
from like week 5 to, and then they'll find nothing, and then whatever. But this game has been circled. The Raiders will win convincingly, and it'll look like they know a little bit of what Chicago's doing. And then all of a sudden, breaking news. I mean, I
Mhm.
can predict it. It's so easy.
Again, guys, Ben Johnson's still installing his offense in there. Again, Caleb Williams did look better last week. Again, this is just something that I think the Las Vegas just comes out and wins this game. Next, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. Packers are giving 7, over unders 47.5. Money line is negative 345 to the Packers. I have no idea what the hell happened to the Packers last week. There is no rhyme or reason why they should have lost that game. And Dallas, I mean, can we talk about how bad they look?
I mean, Dallas is the worst defense in the league.
Horrible.
That Micah Parsons, sometimes he's good for us, sometimes he's not good for it. Well, you're the worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't like him. Maybe you didn't want to pay him. But you know what? Those players don't have the same burst without him.
No.
Right? They don't have the same. The vehicle doesn't run the same without that driver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just talk about, their defense is terrible. I think that the Packers can score everywhere. I feel as though this screams the easiest bet to make is the over because the defenses are bad. Right?
Over unders 47.5. Yeah, that screams over.
Take the under.
Mhm.
I just got it. My gut, my belly. Remember how fat it was that we were talking about earlier? We weren't. But I just think it feels so easy to take it. Don't take the under.
Well, the
please.
Packers defense has a good defense. Even without Parsons, they were still a top 10 defense.
I know, but that everybody's going,
Yeah.
but Dallas can't stop it. But the breaks again. I just feel how these get set up like this under.
And let's face it, guys, the Packers would be unstoppable if their wide receivers just would catch the ball. Let's just remind ourselves with that. Their wide receivers
how that happens.
love to drop the ball. So those go routes that everybody's hitting on the Dallas Cowboys, can their wide receivers catch the ball? We'll see. Ultimately, though, I do like the Packers here. 7 is a lot, but money line negative 345. That's a lot there. I do like the Packers here, though.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got the let's see. Oh, we got 2 Monday night games. We got the Jets at the Dolphins. Jets are getting 2.5. Over under is 45.5. Money line is negative 155 to the Dolphins. I don't even know with this game. I have no idea what I'm getting with either team. I'm not touching this game. I don't even know if I'm really watching this game, to be honest with you.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting because I don't know. I don't think that Tua is going to survive the whole game. That's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to play the whole game. I think Mike McDaniels is going to have a contingency plan for when Tua makes a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to lose the locker room, and he knows it, and he's very close. And I think that Zach Wilson at this point in his career is better than Tua. for whatever reason, I think maybe those like Chuck Liddell was awesome for a long time, right? Remember Chuck Liddell? You remember Chuck Liddell?
Yeah.
And then one knockout came, then a second knockout came, then the third knockout came. Then it was like,
yeah, he wasn't. It was a shell of himself.
it was right, and I think that's where we might be with Tua. I just those things over time. I don't think he wants to play bad football, and I don't think he studies less. So if everything's equal, I think Zach Wilson's probably a better starting quarterback at this point. I think McDaniels gives him enough rope. He tries to get the things done that he needs to get done. And then probably midway through the third, when there's still real game going on here, I think he moves on. Wilson hits a couple passes. Everybody kind of takes a deep breath, right? It feels good. And they go, okay, we're just going to move forward with this now. That's how I feel about this game. I think Miami scrapes and gets by.
I mean, I'm with you. The only thing that I have reservations about is that over $100 million contract that Tua signed a couple years ago. So
I get it, but you're trying to save your job. Right?
Yeah, no, listen, I get it. But you know how owners are. I'm paying a quarterback $100 million. Like, I want to see my product on the field.
Yeah, and it looked the
all
best.
Right. Yeah, again, I don't. Neither one of us like this game at all. Garbage game. It shouldn't even be a Monday night game. Next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos. I mean, I think this should be a no-brainer. I like the Broncos here. Nix looks like he regressed a little bit over the last couple weeks, but the Broncos defense is a little too stout, I think, and the Bengals defense isn't stout enough. So I think Bo Nix bounces back here, looks good against a very porous Bengals defense. I don't even think this is a question.
I think Sean Payton's been listening. I think like there's a little bit of Mayfield in Sean Payton, right? He keeps receipts, right? He sits there and he goes, oh yeah, you think? Okay, well, yeah, no, I agree with you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We barely know what we're doing here. I mean, I don't even know how I'm a football coach. I probably shouldn't even be in charge of my own house and my own refrigerator. And then he's going to come out on Monday night. And when they're up by 20, he's going to go, guys, we're winning by 40. Like that's just, and he's going to do it. And everybody's going to go, wow, Bo Nix threw 6 touchdown passes. And Peyton's going to go, yeah, still a really bad quarterback though. Like
but again, it's against the Bengals defense though.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
He should look good against the Bengals defense.
He should, but like when Sean Payton, when you think that he's, backed up against the wall, he's going to find a way to step a cleat in your chest. And that's where I think this is coming. Like Cincinnati's vulnerable. Let's show everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But where I would have liked to seen that is against the Colts. Listen, that defense played well. I'm not putting it on the defense. I'm putting it on Nix.
The whole leveraging, that was the game right there where I watched some of and I went, Indy's got a good defense.
Yeah.
Because
a very good defense.
Because Nix could have let a few go, but he respected it. And I went, oh, you respect what they're doing over there. That's a little bit different than complete disrespect. Would they get a touchdown on a 4th and 3, almost like a flea flicker kind of deal? That showed a lot of respect to that Indy defense. That's why I give them a lot of kudos going in this Rams game. But again, Rams are at home, so that's what we think they'll handle business.
Yes. All right. I think that's it. I got 10 minutes to get my bets in. Guys, remember, like, subscribe over at OldGamerGk, over on Fantasy Farm Sports. Look out for more card rip videos. I got a 1991 Panini Premier sealed box I am going to be opening up. I got a couple more mystery packs I'm going to be opening up. So, yeah, look for those card rip videos, guys.
We've asked nicely over the past couple weeks for you guys to subscribe. Now we're going to start threatening. Subscribe or we're coming to your house. Not to do this, to take your phones and then just hit the button and we'll leave quietly. We won't do anything else.
Maybe they want us to come over. Maybe they want to meet us.
Huh, that's interesting. All right, threats are on.
All right, guys, as always, be excellent to each other.